Guys, we did it. We got Jack to ban the Nazis and leave.
Banned
it's the end of an era. Yeah, he banned himself. Oh, what's Jack's retiring? Oh, is he going to spend more time with the Nazis he didn't ban?
Can someone?
Jack's moving on to other ventures. Oh, another venture where he's not going to ban the Nazis.
He's moving on to other ventures. What, the annexation of Czechoslovakia?
Let's go. I'm sad he's going. Honestly.
Can someone explain Twitter Spaces to me?
It's where you go to find the truth about things like pan-Slavism and pan-Turkism and realism.
It seems like the vast majority of these topics people talking about are like highly advanced science.
Twitter Spaces is good. It's like fuck. Clubhouse sucks. Like people just like they got so like. I mean, I'm on record as saying it. You know, I support lockdowns just because, like, I don't care about the disease. I don't know if it's real. I just like what it did to everyone. I think it's cool how everyone acts now, how everyone behaves, how everyone thinks. And I think, like, it was just so bad for people, even in places that weren't locked down. It just made everyone so crazy that, like, it convinced them that Clubhouse was cool. Like, I looked at Clubhouse once when it was, like, popping. And all the rooms were like, you know, how to get into real estate investing.
No, thanks.
Well, yeah, it's boring shit. Who fucking cares? But Spaces is, you know, it's why we're going to miss Jack, because he recognized that his completely mentally ill user base would take this boring concept of a room where everyone can talk and make it awesome.
What were some of the Spaces topics? I mean, because I haven't participated in one yet because I don't really know how it works. Does everyone talk at the same time, or there's like a host and then
from what I understand, yeah, there's a host who then can allow people who are listening to comment. It seems like it's the closest thing we've been able to get to like call in talk radio on the internet so far, which I guess is what Clubhouse was too. Although I never fucking even paid that a second's attention. So
yeah, Clubhouse sucked, but like this was, I mean, the fun's gonna be over soon, unfortunately. But like, there was an awesome like versus Palestine room. there was one where it was like ask a Nazi anything, and it was this guy being
was
like,
it Jack?
well, like it was Jack, yeah, because he didn't ban them. It was this guy saying like, well, like I think like the U.S. should just be divided, but we should put moats everywhere to divide it. And then it's like, but it's like I love it. It feels so much like how things used to be, because like when there was like a really like transphobic space, people just fucked it up. People just ruined it for like the guy that started it, and it's like that is kind of how things used to be. You know, you got a little bit of the new internet and a little bit of the old, and I really like it. Like whenever someone like, you know, does make a really terrible room, like people just really, really fuck it up and like ruin it. But I do unfortunately think like the fun's gonna be over. Like the Daily Beast is probably gonna write an article about all the spaces I personally have been attending and enjoying people ruining.
Yeah, they're going to talk about how it's like radicalization is happening in Twitter Spaces.
I think it's like it's causing the opposite of radicalization, because it's like if you went to like the Nazi one or any of these, like whenever you actually hear someone like the transphobic one, like you heard like the transphobic guy talk, you'd be like, this guy's a fucking idiot. Like I'm pretty sure it like swayed more people against him.
Is that the guy who was
just
like
kept posting?
Is that the guy who was like, they're calling their buttholes pussies?
Yeah. That was him. And that guy actually is Tariq Nasheed's enemy.
Okay, well.
So I'm like doubly against him.
Mm-hmm. Tariq Nasheed had a space that was something like, are black women too publicly visible or something like that?
It's just like, I hope these stick around in their current form, because it's good old fashioned fun. But like the fun never lasts. They're gonna moderate it, and then like all spaces will be like, you know, what's the best way to get into like house flipping? You know, Airbnb for beginners, just shit.
They're gonna turn it. They're gonna get rid of it and replace it with Twitter bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. We should do one.
Did you see D-Ray today when like Jack announced he was retiring? D-Ray just tweeted the Black Power fist. Man, but I feel the same way. I will miss him so much.
Should we get in before it gets sort of censored and moderated? Should we get on with the Twitter space? Women, are there too many of them?
Yeah, no. I think that's the way to go. You just have to go like inflammatory title. Like, should it be illegal to celebrate Hanukkah? Let's find out. Let's debate the issue. It's cool. I think that unlike Clubhouse, people on Twitter, they just have the impulse that someone they didn't know 3 minutes ago, they're like, I need to destroy this person's life. Like, I hate them. It's what makes spaces cool.
I'm gonna do a Pitbull Holocaust when space.
yeah. Should Pitbull owners be on the no-fly list, or should we just kill them? Like, yeah, shit like that. Just my advice to everyone is like, enjoy these while you can. Nothing fun lasts. It's just how it goes. You can't complain that much. It's just that's life. We all know it. You just got to enjoy the good times.
Okay, how about this one? A Twitter space titled "Which nation in the Balkans is best?" And then it's just me discussing the films of James Glickenhaus while people scream at me.
That's the best bait and switch to do, like super inflammatory title, but the content is like as boring as Clubhouse. Like doing a room that's titled like okay, for real, which race smells the worst? But when you get there, I'm the only speaker, and I'm like, do we really think USB-C made computing better?
I could do my old troll of just reading Finnegan's Wake from start to finish.
That's a good one. Me and you did that one together. That's a good one. Dude, yeah. There's so much fun to be had while you can still have it.
Like I will say, Felix, you shared something the other day that has sort of riveted me to my core. I've just been pondering this deep dark truth about sort of the cycle of history. You wrote, "Swag men create dope times create dripless men create fuck times create dope men." And I know that you need fuck times to get dope men, but I worry that we're in the fuck times cycle of history right now.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely we are, but like, okay, the time, like, I would say, like, first year of Trump to the 3 years before that. Let's say that's the swag. Do we agree that's the swag time, kind of generally?
Oh, that was swagged out.
Yeah, this is swag time. Okay, but we only got there because we were in a fuck time, which was the 2008 recession. That led to modern streetwear and Adam 22 and FaZe Banks. And all the dope men that created dope times. It's like it sucks, but that's really how it goes. That is this. The Chinese first came up with this when they called it the dynastic cycle when they invented it.
Is there
when they had the world's first recorded dope times 9,000 years ago? But of course they had like dripless men, the Mongols, attack them.
That's why they did the invasion, so that they could get some drip.
Yeah, but then the Mongols were dripless, but then they created a dope time. Then they looked cool. Then after they became cool, that led to fuck times, which was the creation of Turkey. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm buying the dip on the lira. I stand with Turkey. Trust the plan. Turkish exports will account for 100% of the economy. Buy the lira now.
I just I worry though. Is there any way is there any exit from this like relentless cycle of history? Like, I mean, I'm just saying, like, through prudent policy, can we sort of lock in the dope times and prevent the fuck times? Can we prevent dripless men from creating fuck times?
Will, what you're trying to do is immanentize the swag eschaton, and that's just not. It's not possible. I'm sorry.
I am a little bit more of an optimistic person than Matt. I think Matt is convinced that we just have to do this cycle forever. But, due to human improvement, due to the sum of our knowledge, the drip's always going to get cooler. The dope times will always be doper, and hopefully the fuck times will be less fucked. What I think is we're probably going to keep doing that. But potentially, because of technology, we could reach the dope singularity.
Okay, like a Roman Empire, 1st century AD. Kind of a fuck time. But then birth of Jesus Christ, swag king.
One of the dopest men ever. and the Son of God, if you believe that. Which, I mean, even if he wasn't, okay, and there's a 50-50 shot, okay, and that's pretty good odds.
Okay, but then
good enough to become a Christian.
But then the Roman Empire, becomes too swag, then it falls fuck times. I mean, but it was because they became too Christian.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that led to who were the dopest men? The Muslims.
Okay, and then a new cycle begins again.
Yeah, because they had like a whole dope area known as Iberia. But then it became too easy for them to be dope. And so they lost. They lost to like a bunch of guys that didn't even speak Castilian. They lost to a bunch of guys that grew up in a river. But then the Spanish became cool. The Siglo de Oro in Spanish, that translates to the age of dopeness. But that's perfect because they had so much dope shit, so much gold from their conquest.
So much drip.
That it created so much drip, it caused hyperinflation.
Yep.
Under Philip II, who was, I'm sorry, a swagless man.
Absolutely swagless.
Dude, right, this theory applies to everywhere. It's crazy.
Matt, let's apply the cycle of dopeness to Napoleon.
Okay.
And the French Revolution.
Got it.
Where we going to? Okay, Napoleon. Okay, French Revolution. Sort of fuck times.
That's definitely fucked. Yeah.
That's pretty fucked.
Yeah.
It's very fucked. And then Napoleon, obviously, the man on the swag on horseback, basically, coming into history and creating a golden age of swag for the first French Empire. But then
the Restoration.
Yeah,
dripless, fucked.
Absolutely. Oh my God, the returning Bourbons, Charles X, absolutely swagless.
So yeah, I just it's crazy if you just study history how you can see cycles repeat themselves, and I just like I said, I worry the swag, the last embers of swag are fading, and we may be headed into fuck times because we got too swag.
But that means our grandkids will be dope. Pretty cool. That's all you can hope for. I mean, yeah. Look. It just that's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. And sometimes it's like Lenin said. Sometimes, there are decades where nothing dope drops. There are no brailled belts. And sometimes there are weeks where everything is dope. Everything dope happens. I think that's what he said.
That's true. He did say that.
Yeah.
It's like
in The State and Dopeness by Vladimir Lenin.
It's sort of like a swag Sara. Sort of this concept of rebirth and death, and just an endless cycle of things coming out of dopeness and going into fuckness. Well, all right. Evidence of our fuck times right now. The Ghislaine Maxwell trial is starting today. Boys, let's go. Our girl is she's seen the inside of a courtroom for the first time. A jury has been selected, and we'll see where this trial goes. I don't really know what to expect here. My suspicion is nothing interesting or of note will come out of it, because the fact that she's still alive means that probably
she's been replaced by a robot, obviously.
Yeah.
But I would just like to go into some news coverage of the trial today. Or not news coverage. This is sort of like this is a piece in Bloomberg. This is under the Bloomberg Equality vertical. Titled, Ghislaine Maxwell Jury Confronts Rare Case Alleging Female Sexual Predator. It says here, Ghislaine Maxwell's sex trafficking trial is set to kick off as one of the biggest of the hashtag #MeToo era. But the jury selected Monday may have to grapple with a unique question. Is Maxwell herself a victim?
It's a good question.
It is very good.
Most criminal defendants are men in these sorts of sexual predator cases, said Moira Penza, a former federal prosecutor in Brooklyn, New York. This case is unusual because we have a female defendant. Whether some people might be more or less sympathetic to Maxwell, 59, a woman has hung over the jury selection process. The 12 jurors and 6 alternates were picked Monday in Manhattan federal court, with opening statements to begin soon after in a trial expected to last into January. If convicted, the British socialite faces as many as 40 years in prison. The jury selection got off to a bumpy start on Monday, with 2 potential jurors not showing up at all, and another who forgot getting into the courthouse late. A few also raised their hands when U.S. District Judge Allison Nathan asked if they had read or heard anything since last week and could still be impartial in the case. Among those dismissed was a private equity worker who had previously expressed concern about serving on the jury due to his, quote, proximity to high-profile individuals who have been linked to Maxwell's ex-boyfriend, Jeffrey Epstein.
That guy, yeah, no, high-profile individuals, not like, oh, I'm sorry, I like bought my wife from her. My bad. So the lawyer asked if they had heard or read anything that would like sway them. Gotta say, another huge L for article heads. If you read an article, fuck you.
I'm just imagining getting like paneled in jury duty for the Ghislaine Maxwell trial, and I'm sitting there, and they're like, I'm sitting in the jury box wearing the TrueAnon Bush did 9/11 T-shirt, and they're like, now, have you read anything about this case or can counter anything that may bias you? And I'm just like, nope, definitely not. Not familiar with it.
If I got asked to be on the Ghislaine jury, I would absolutely lie my balls off.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever recorded yourself talking about this case and released it publicly in any manner? No, definitely not.
Yeah, you just have to be like, I've never read an article. My TV has never. I have never actually seen anything except for NBC's Wednesday night lineup. That's the only. I've never seen a piece of media that wasn't run through Ken Olin.
That's why I feel so bad for these jurors, because they are just pristine minds. They're just holy innocents who are now just going to have to be waterboarded with this shit. Today, when they were talking, they were doing like the jury impaneling today. They asked one of the jurors if they had any knowledge about the case, and they said, quote, I believe I was watching football and I just switched over and the news was on and I just, heard that he committed suicide and Miss Maxwell's name was mentioned briefly and I just kept it and went back to watching football. That's all I could really remember.
Oh my
God. That guy is so pure, and now he's going to have to fucking know about this stuff.
That is, I didn't think about it from that angle. That is really sad. Like, holy fuck, like so many like just perfect like cattle Americans who are like, I never miss an Oakland Raiders game.
Yep.
I did a semester at sea that docked out of Oakland in 1981, and so I love the Oakland Raiders, and I only watch that, the United States of Ale. And he's gonna that guy's gonna hear the most sordid shit in the world. It's gonna be him. It's gonna be like 3 old women who are all named gay. It's just perfect innocent Americans. Very sad.
Do I know who Joe Biden is? No, I don't. I've been watching NBC's La Brea.
Yeah, they're gonna seek out people who think that Joe Biden is Donald Trump's dad. That's going to be who's on this fucking jury.
I mean, like, that is really the way jury selection works in any case in America. Like, they're trying to find like the smoothest brains in America, like the people this brains in America,